The chief of the three services paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Tariq Rahman at the Secretariat today. Chief of Army Staff General Waqar Zaman, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral M. Nazmul Hassan and Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan met the Prime Minister at his office. Earlier, the Prime Minister arrived at his Secretariat office in the morning for his second day of official work. After reaching the office, he held a meeting with three service chiefs. Prime Minister's advisor, retired Brigadier General Dr. A.K.M. Shamsul Islam was also present at the meeting. NCP convener and chief whip of opposition in the 13th National Parliament, Nahid Islam, said the Parliament would hold no value without the Constitutional Reform Council. He also said the Reform Council is integral to legitimacy and the function of the Parliament. He made these remarks today while speaking during press conference held the party center office in Dhaka, Bangla Motor. Dr. Debapriya Bhattacharya, Distinguished Fellow at Centre for Policy Dialogue, has emphasized the need to carefully examine agreements signed with foreign entities during the previous interim government. He said that it is much important to verify whether these agreements align with the current government plans and, if necessary, consider the cancellation for the revising some of them. Speaking at a citizen platform event in Dhaka today, Dr. Debapriya Bhattacharya suggested the new government could review decisions made by interim administration, especially in relation to postponing LDC graduation initiative. He also proposed forming a separate transition dam to conduct this review. In fact, a letter has already been sent to UN headquarters in New York. Education Minister A.N.M. Ehsanul Haq Milan today criticized past attempt to cancel school and college examination in the face of mob pressure and ruled out granting auto pass, emphasizing that teachers must stay in classroom instead of taking part in political agitation. Many things have happened in the past which should not have happened. Cancelling exam in the face of mob, giving auto pass, this will never desirable, Milan also said during the press conference at Education Ministry on his second day in his office. He also added a government would not revisit old story about why such decisions were taken, but would instead move forward in line with election manifesto. We will also make the education system time appropriate based on the vision and mission. He also said the minister government is committed to ensuring the smooth conduct of the secondary school certificate examination. Question paper have already been prepared and discussions have been held to ensure a smooth distribution and uninterrupted conduct of exam, he also added. The government will provide protein-rich food at subsidized prices around the 1 million low-income family across the country during whole month in Ramadan, said the State Minister for Fisheries and Livestock Sultan Salahuddin Tuku. He also said the initiative taken in the line with government commitment to public welfare under the leadership of Tariq Rahman will ensure the supply of milk, egg, meat and fish for low-income people at affordable prices. He also made this remark this morning while speaking at a chief guest during the inauguration program in the capital's Mohakhali area. He said all concerned must work together with honesty and dedication to fulfill the commitment made by Prime Minister. Welcome back. You are watching SATV News.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Panta.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles,
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing,
special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen,
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs?
Welcome back. You are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has instructed the Israel Home Front Command to prepare for a potential war with Iran, reported Israeli media outlet on Wednesday. Netanyahu issued directive to various rescue agencies. He confronted command to prepare for the war, according to the daily Yehudit Arno. The newspaper added the state of maximum alert has been declared across various Israeli security agencies. Separately, Israel public broadcaster KAM said the security cabinet meeting scheduled for Thursday to discuss development in Iran has been rescheduled for Sunday. Without providing any additional detail, the newspaper said on report in Israel assessment indicate the US President Donald Trump. The US is in the process of withdrawing all roughly 1,000 troops from Syria, according to sources affiliated with US government. It also said will end of a decade-long military operation in the country. The US military already had completed its withdrawal for AI Tom garrison, a strategic outpost for the border, Syria, Jordan, and Iraq, and Al-Sadani base on the northeast Syria earlier this month, said the sources. Troops will withdraw from remaining US locations over the next 2 months. The Wall Street Journal first reported the US was awaiting a complete withdrawal from Syria in January. British Foreign Minister Veit Cooper on Thursday condemned as totally unjustifiable a 10-year sentence given to a British couple in Iran for spying, saying the government would continue to press for the release. Craig and Lindsay Foreman had been charged with espionage after they accused them gathering information in several parts of the country. We will pursue the case relentlessly with the Iranian government until we see Craig and Lindsay Foreman's safety returned to the UK and reunited with the family. Cooper said in his statement the former were arrested on January 3, 2025 while traveling through Iran, a global motorcycle journey. Iranian state media announced the detention for the following month over espionage charge. They have now been held for more than 13 months. Andrew Mountbatten Window, the former United Kingdom royal, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, according to UK media report. A statement from Thames Valley Police was released Thursday, which said, as part of the investigation, we have today 19 arrested a man and his team from Norfolk on suspicion for the misconduct in public office and are carrying out searches at addresses in the Berkshire and Norfolk. The man remained in police custody at the time. We will not be naming the arrested man as per national guidance as well. Police also remember the case is now active, so much careful so that we taken any publication to avoid being the contempt for the code. The statement added, Assistant Chief Constable Overnight Wright said, following through the assessment, we have now opened an investigation into allegation of misconduct in public office. South Korea sentenced former President Yoon Suk-yeol to life in prison on Thursday after finding him guilty in masterminding insurrections stemming from his December 2024 attempt to impose the martial law. Hundreds of Yoon supporters rallied near the court holding Yoon again, banner and shedding tears as the ruling Yoon was televised on TV. Meanwhile, South Korean residents watched the court decision at Seoul station. Supporters at rally voiced disappointment but said the verdict could galvanize the movement, while some Seoul residents watching the news urged even tougher punishment, warning the martial law attempt must never be repeated. Peruvian lawmaker elected Jose Balcar as the country's new interim president on Wednesday ahead of a general election in April, making him the country's eighth president in as many years. Since 2018, Peru has cycled through a rapid succession of presidents, exposing deep rupture between executive branch and Congress. At a fragmented party system unable to form lasting government coalition, the Balcazar 83 replaces Jose Zervi, who was voted out of office by Congress after just 4 months following a scandal over undisclosed meeting with a Chinese businessman. Balcazar will also assume the role of head of Congress. Lawmaker elected Balcazar over Quito night legislator Maria del Carmen Alva 64-46 margin following an hours-long session. The vote came after none of four initial candidates secure a simple majority in an initial round of voting. The Peruvian will head to the polls on April 12 to elect a new president with a round of vote expected in June. Balcazar, a left-wing lawmaker, will remain in the post until the end of the current presidential term in July 28. President is due to take office. Russian President Vladimir Putin met Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez on Wednesday in Kremlin, where he said a new restriction imposed on the communist Iran island was unacceptable. A senior Russian diplomat said last week that Moscow would provide aid to Havana, including material assistance to help mediate to the U.S. attempt to starve the island of oil. The Kremlin chief said relations between Russia and Cuba were developing on a positive track. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told his Cuban counterpart in a separate meeting on Wednesday that Moscow was urging the U.S. not to impose a full naval blockade on island and was advocating negotiation instead. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesperson, was quoted as saying by TASS on Wednesday that Moscow didn't discuss the Cuban issue with Washington. Russia, Ukraine and US concluded trilateral peace talks in Geneva earlier on Wednesday. You are up to date with the top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.